Hello and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 3 and Black Ice version 12 and the Germany campaign. And where we left off, we'd taken the Baltic nations. And I've done a little bit of reorganizational work. And there are a few things just to update you on that have happened in the intervening period. So, we have started the mass production of infantry divisions, as well as some heavy bomber groups, because I'm predicting that we're going to need a little bit of support to crack some of the Soviet cities when the time comes. And I've started getting some of our railway kind of brigade units all up together as well. But what that means, alongside some of the other stuff that we've done, is that I've been really able to organise our army. Now, what I would say is the army is a little bit smaller than I would like it to be, even at this point. So, yeah, we've got a little bit more work to do. And I haven't kicked off Operation Visabung yet, because I'm going to wait for these few marine divisions to come live, and then I'm going to plan the assault on Norway. Now, the key thing with that decision is that you only need not control Paris. So as long as you don't control Paris, you can click that decision. So we're just going to need to monitor our progress in this. We should have our Marines out by the 14th of May, and then they should have a few weeks to reinforce before we launch that invasion. We've also got a self-propelled artillery due out and an upgrade to one of our motorized divisions in a second, but I'm not going to hold off the invasion for that of France. So yeah, we're going to be kicking off the invasion of France the moment that we can in May. I've reorganized our Air Force and brought it over here. And so far, we've done a fairly good job of defending our kind of industrial capacity and things, which is good. That's what we want to see. In fact, I've got a couple of units that I need to jump into things. Lovely jubbly. But yeah, things are going well, and we're in a good spot. You know, we've got the forces ready for the invasion of Norway and Denmark, though. So, I have a couple of airborne units that I'm going to use in the invasion. Now, range-wise, these guys have got a range of about 400 kilometers, so they can kind of get up to this parallel here. They can't quite hit Oslo, which is a bit of a shame. Now, we did just finish drop tanks, but I don't think drop tanks help those units. But we do have these transport planes here, and they have a range of 430 kilometers. So they actually can hit Oslo, which is good. And we've got a relatively good landing division here that we're going to dedicate to that role. We've got some mountain units to push into Denmark, even though it's not very mountainous, but just wanting to use them for that, really. And I have dedicated the Greater Deutschland division to this invasion as well, because it's quite small. I've dedicated Beck with this command here, with 2 infantry divisions to land in Oslo. Fresh off having dealt with the Estonian and Polish navies. In the intervening period, Britain tried a naval landing at Hamburg as well, which is quite interesting. We met it with our fleet, and we did suffer some losses. So if we just go to the ship's sunk tab here, and look at owner for Germany, we have lost some. We've lost some submarines as well. But we lost the Hipper, the Paul Jacob, and the Graf Spray to the HMS Lion. But in response, we were able to sink the HMS Lion with our naval bombers and that entire British task force of several light cruisers, a heavy cruiser, and a couple of destroyers, and a landing ship. So I think we did manage to destroy an actual unit in that as well, because they were trying to land some divisions. So overall, that was actually a pretty good trade, to be honest. I was fairly happy with how we did with that. Currently, I do have some convoy raiders going over here to distract the enemy. And I do have, or I did, I think, have... yeah, so we did have some submarines out at play. And we do have one group still out and about. And I'm actually going to probably rebase them home, because they've done about a month of raiding, and we've actually lost 3 coastal submarine groups. So we lost the 2 that we had over here. I did some raiding with them in this part of the world. And then I had 2 groups of 3 out. So I'm down now to the grand total of 12 coastal submarines in the Mediterranean. So yeah, I want to be a little bit more just kind of organized with that in the short term. Other things that are happening, I'm working on Saudi Arabia and Yemen and getting their neutrality down to get them in the faction. Iraq is hightailing it towards us and losing a little bit of neutrality as they go. So hopefully we can get all 3 of these nations in a nice little grouping. And then we have Finland, who is looking pretty good and making their way as well towards us. I think they're drifting towards the Axis. Oh no, they're drifting towards the Allies, which is a bit of a shame. Due to threat and how closely aligned they are. I don't like that very much. And Romania, as you can see, is coming towards us as well pretty quickly. So I'm expecting to get them in soon. And then the last nation that we'll be looking for from like the Baltic region will be Bulgaria, who right now, yeah, it's just the cause thing. Like yeah, it's this all this here apparently is under. It's just dumb. I don't get that. Yeah, Bulgaria is irritating, but yeah, as a result, things are going well. So, we do have then 3 different naval forces to defend our ships, and one of them's a little bit weaker than I would have liked because of the loss of those 2 pocket battleships. But we do also have this landing craft group here with 4 landing craft in place, which is good. So, for the invasion of France and the Low Countries then, what do we have ready to go? So, we have Heeresgruppe C under von Lieb, who is just effectively a holding force here with the 1st and 7th armies on the Siegfried line, opposite the Maginot line. So yeah, they're not fulfilling much of a purpose. We also have Kepler here with some militia that are being used to just hold down the line as well. But yeah, again, nothing too much to worry about on that front. Then we have Heeresgruppe B, who are going to be tasked with taking over the Netherlands. And specifically, the 4th Army, which is kind of like this, sorry, the 18th Army here, is going to be helping to hold the flank of the 4th Army by pushing in this direction. So we've dedicated a few different armies to this attack. It's not a great amount of units, so if we look at what the makeup of their divisions is, the garrisons and things are just purely for like holding down. You know, this was already what was existing there, so it's mainly about 9 to 10 infantry divisions plus garrison support and a little bit of air support from some fighters, and we've also got some mediums if we need it, but really it's probably these light bombers and this little bit of close air support that are going to be their main bit of help just to push through as required. What we've then got is Heeresgruppe A. Now, this is our most potent fighting force, and the key to it, or it's going to have a couple of different objectives. So we're going to have the 5th Army, which is this army here, and the 5th Army, sorry, it's easy to show it like this, including that Panzer General Commando group. They're going to have a target of taking Luxembourg, and then with some of the infantry and things here, they're going to hold down this region here around Sedan, Lyon, St. Methel, Nancy. They're going to hold this. We'll probably pivot the like Liebenstadt, the Kampfgruppe 88, and the Kampfgruppe Kempf. They're probably going to move towards Reims, and Saint Desier. Like, we're gonna start moving them in that direction when the time comes. But that's their initial objective, is to take Luxembourg and then go from there. Now, the first Panzer Group is probably the most important and strongest army we have. It's made up of most of our like newly manufactured infantry and units that we've upgraded. So these are all motorized, yeah. So it's all motorized, and with the exception of a couple of artillery units that I'm just going to do last, but and our newest tank divisions. And what they're going to do is their aim is going to be towards Lille and Calais and Bologna. Yeah. And what they're going to do is they're going to kind of sidestep Belgium and some of the areas here. And they're going to have a pretty simple task of just kind of looping around Belgium and then setting up a defensive line and pushing towards Paris. That's going to be their key aim. The 6th Army, with one motorized group, is going to have a job of pushing towards Liège, Namur. We're going to take the capital of Brussels, Charleroi, Tournai, and Kortrijk towards Brugge. So they're going to outflank the defences over here and hold them in place. And then we have the 4th Army. Now, the 4th Army has one motorized group, and their aim is going to be to take Antwerp and seal this area around Middelburg. And they've got a little bit of infantry to support that as well. So that's what the plan is for the invasion. Production-wise, as I said earlier, we've got a lot of infantry that we're still making. We've got a little bit of industry still going, and most of that will be finished this year, which is good. And tech-wise, we're doing pretty much everything we want to be doing, and a bunch of 1941 level tech as well for industry to deal with some of the small resource shortfalls that we've got at the moment. We did lose a little bit of mental over the winter because of the loss of the iron ore route. And then we need to make a judgment call on whether or not we want to invade Sweden as well. Although I'm less kind of interested in that. And once we get Romania in the faction, then I can probably do some transport work with Karl's, because I would like him to transport the mountain units over here when they've done their job towards this part of the world to help lend a bit of a hand in this world, in this the Middle East. Yes, all organised. So we are 1 day away from launching our attack, and everything seems pretty good. I'm happy that we're pretty well organised now. France actually has a relatively decent amount of units. However, their combat effectiveness probably leaves a lot to be desired, and a lot of them are facing off against Italy, and we're distracting some more units over here as well. So I can't imagine they're going to have a great deal to defend themselves with, because we're going to have a huge amount of units on the... we're going to be distracting a load of them effectively on the Maginot Line, which is good. That's what we want to see, what we want to be doing. Okay. So, yeah, and you've got enough covert op points. My arm's giving me a bit of... we lost a unit. So they finally caught our convoy raider, which is a bit of a shame. That is actually a real shame. But it's not the end of the world. We could send them back home. And you know what? We will. Let's send you back to Hamburg. You can try and run the channel, yes. What a gauntlet that'll be. Okay, so it's May 1st. And, oh, torpedo boat improvement. That's good. Let's do coal liquidation. Attempt to get some more diesel. Okay, so we can get another commando unit. And, I will take that. And that'll spawn in the capital. Is it just the commando itself? No, it does come with elite light infantry. So that's good, because we can use that to help build up our forces over here. Happy with that. We want to give you Manstein. We want to give you... So, yeah, we'll give that 28 centimeter one there over, and then we'll give Rundstedt a 28 centimeter unit there as well. Wait for them to organize up a little bit. Yeah, those elite light infantry units are really quite strong, those battalions, so I do like to try and include them in the Fortress Busters if I can. And then, yes, Operation Felgelb. So, Fulgelb. It's the Low Countries and the Benelux. So, the German invasion, or Benelux. So, the German invasion of France and the Low Countries executed on May 10th, 1940, which ended the so-called phony war, or the Sitzkrieg. The battle consisted of two main operations. In the first, Case Yellow, German armoured units pushed through the Ardennes, cut off and surround Allied units that had advanced into Belgium. The British Expeditionary Force, the BF, and many French soldiers, however, were evacuated from Dunkirk in Operation Dynamo. In the second operation, Fulrot, Case Red, executed from the 5th of June, German forces outflanked the Maginot Line to attack the large territory of France. And we gain 150 manpower, which is not unwelcome. Relation Italy and France is reduced by 25. Italy will lose 15 neutrality, Hungary will lose 15 neutrality, and we'll declare war on Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. So we will do that now. Starting it a little bit ahead of time on May 1st. And what we're going to do is we're going to immediately attack with our infantry and our mainline units here and get them straight into battle. I think we can probably attack with the vast majority of these divisions in a second if we want to, but I'm actually going to keep them fresh, and I might just dedicate, well, in fact, probably don't need to dedicate any divisions to that. Let's use, so we can use our infantry here. In fact, are you connected? You are. Okay, so let's use our infantry there to push and attack into that location, and we'll also use the panzers just to spearhead it. Then I'm going to use the close air support there because I think that's where it's going to be needed the most, and the same thing with the light bombers here as well. We do have these guys here now. I don't think they're going to be able to hit any major targets at the moment. But we can start to do a little air superiority mission into this part of the world. So we're wanting to start executing a little bit of air warfare. And yeah, let's just attach you into here. And yeah, keep those air superiority missions going. Right, so you're attacking with your light bombers there. You're good to go there. Let's do a little bit of air superiority over here as well. Okay, and yeah, I think we're going to ground attack with these light guys here, actually. And we're going to use one group to do ground attack there. And we'll use the other group to do ground attack onto this location here, under von Richthofen. I'm going to start doing ground attack on the big concentration of units there, because I think they're going to be the ones that we need to watch out for. And then yeah, you've got an air intercept mission, but you guys, you can do air superiority over here. Okay, I think we're doing a pretty good job. We've organised everything as we want it at the moment for that initial set of attacks, and then we can do the same thing here. So we're going to use the infantry to push immediately through. you know what, we will dedicate one unit there and make a slight change, a little deviation with it. And then we'll get you to attack over the river there. And we'll get you to attack in that direction. And yeah, we can support with that division there. And yeah, those infantry attachments are not really that worrying at all. Let's support attack with the garrisons. They won't be worth much, but they will do something. Okay, so we've got an attack across the front. Let's put it on speed 2. Okay, and I've just seen us lose again in that attack over there. They did sink some convoys, so that's something. Yep, and then let's help defend that there. So they've got 3 divisions here that are of, I would say, limited quality. There's a little bit of strategic bombing going on over there. And they've got 8 units in reserve. So this is why we're not allocating any forces yet with these guys on purpose. Because I have a feeling that it's going to be a bit of a hard slog to break through there. But what it has done is it's told me I need to reinforce this a little bit. So we will bring our 7 units in and let them kick into gear. And victory in Luxembourg looks pretty likely. Okay, so our infantry and things is already pushing forward over here, and I can move up my armor immediately into Maastricht. So big news in politics. New monumental building. Okay. Don't have the resources at the moment, I think, to actually build anything. So we'll need to build that up a little bit before we can do that. Radar. Yeah, level 3. That helps with like our air industry and stuff. Always good. Okay, and that's gone up to 68, so that's improved a lot there. Luxembourg, how are you doing? The answer is, we are beating them back. So, what we're going to do next is, we are going to move all of the First Army straight in. So because they weren't involved with the attack, they can immediately push up. In fact, that HQ unit got in immediately, so that's good. Okay, and yeah, you guys were now quick to get into place. So let's use our motorized divisions to keep up the push. And then, yep, keep you there. And then you can help out in that battle. Yep, so the defenses on the border have pretty much all collapsed. So, it's a good opening gambit. So there's an air order that's been placed. So, gain a little bit from that. Changing Enigma codes, and huge, and there's a conquer on Luxembourg. So the French are attempting a little counter-attack, which we'll see how that goes for them. I don't think it will be going particularly well, and that gets us a little bit more leadership to get another research thing going. And yeah, it's just a bunch of core commands here. So we should be able to easily beat that back. Right, let's use a couple of garrisons to do that. And let's move up the 4th army here. And then you guys that have just done an attack and completed it, attack there and do a little bit of support attack. Okay, so our first infantry engagements have gone well. We can move you in that direction. We're going to support a push like so. And yeah, I'll move up that garrison even though it's not strictly necessary. We've got enough units to crack this. Right, we'll move up the 5th army. And yeah, those garrisons and things, we'll keep them in place. Now the French counterattack is being stifled. Okay, and we just had a nice little victory over there. In where is this? That's it. Verviers. So that was a pretty good victory. We'll gain a little bit of supply and a few extra bits there. Hugevin. What a cool name. Right, submarine AA. Yeah. And onto construction. I'd like to do industrial zone organization. And yeah, that's another motorized infantry division that we can attach into here. So we will chuck you in and just give you a commander, and then we can start heading you over towards Bonn. These are going to be our new kind of units that we're going to form a new corps out of, or attach into an existing one. Hopefully it won't take too long to get into that position. Okay, so Groningen. Nice little victory there, and yeah, let's take you in that direction, because we only need like probably a couple of divisions for that. Like, we can probably just dedicate this corps here towards that area, and the 12th army, like, we don't need to do much more than that. We can wheel you south towards Vol to kick that door down. And then you can attack towards Nijmegen. Okay. And yeah, some decent little battles going our way at the moment. Okay, so another corps that's just kicked in there. And as far as dodgy counterattacks go, it's going fairly well. So, CAG crew training at 40. Let that run. Hydrophone at 42. That's good. Do we want to do basing? I think we probably do. Okay. And these battles are turning round pretty well. That includes the defeat of a little counterattack here, and the 6th army is nearly moved up in its entirety. So down to 9 units. This battle's just gonna kind of go more and more in our favor as time goes by. We've got 7 units involved in there at the moment. In fact, we'll let you go. Reuben's not a very good commander, actually. Let's get Reichenau in place. I didn't realise we had such a terrible commander in there. Hubbold, he's good. Ellenbrunner, yeah, he's also good. Yeah. Just do a little sweep to make sure we haven't got any completely awful people in place. And where's the last one? Von Axelot? Yeah, you're okay. Okay, it was just the 5th Army Command then, for some reason, that had a terrible command in place. Okay, the majority of you are now in situ. Let's use all of the motorized units and push them like so. And I just saw these motorized units have forded the river position. So we're going to take the panzers and we're going to push them here. Then the motorized, we're going to push like so. And then we'll probably wheel the infantry to help reinforce that battle there. That feels positive. And then we can use a couple of the infantry that are in this region here to good effect as well. We don't want you to be in battle. Okay, 7 units still, but a couple of these are about to break. And you were attacking at Viviers. Let's go for Liège now. And start doing a little bit of work over there. That feels useful. And small little counterattack happening again. I see a British Marine division. And we could get the war one. I won't do that just yet. We will hold off just a tiny bit. And then let's take all of the infantry. And we can go into an attack there. Large battery capacity. That's one of the naval techs. Okay, they're only at a 3% chance of winning, and it's only that single French division up there that's probably in decent fighting shape. These other two, not so much. But once we get rid of these, things will be good. Okay, yeah, down to 2 divisions, or even 1 division now, and it's the one directly facing us. So I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, so just won the Battle of Luxembourg. What we're going to do is to keep this push going. We're going to move up that militia unit, and then we're going to use all of our infantry and things to keep a push going. So we're going to use you like so, and yeah, that looks good. And then these panzer units, we can let them kind of chill out for a second, and then we'll also use you to be the spearhead as well, so that we're keeping these units fresh. That seems worthwhile. And you know what? We'll keep the 5th Army we'll keep that militia unit there, because the last thing I want is to lose like a province here to a dodgy battle. So you're good. You've moved up nicely. Okay, so a couple of core commands that are in place. We'll move you towards Appledorn. You're moving south like that. We can get over there with you. You can go towards Dockham. You can go towards the little crossing defensive point there. Divisional command structure 42. Love that. Anything to help our combat effectiveness. And we are getting 53 officers a day, which is not too bad. Don't know how many we're losing, but that's how many we're getting. Okay, so some of our infantry and things is just being pinned down a little bit in Belgium. This always kind of happens with this kind of stuff. So there's one infantry attachment which is currently being beaten back. And yeah, we want to get them over the river if we can. Yep, so the rest of the infantry got in there. We're now able to outflank them a little bit, which is good. And our bombers are hitting Liège. So Schloff is kicking in, and we just won the battle. That's good. Do we want to leave Clyde's group behind? It's only 4,000 odd. Let's we'll move him up. We'll move everyone up. We'll leave the little army command there, and we'll move up actually maybe that 12th infantry motorized unit. We'll do that. So not by dedicating all units. We're kind of therefore stopping the ones which are going to need to reorganize before their next attack. Although that division just came in and ruined that. So thank you very much, France. Although it's going to liquefy under this kind of attack. Oh, is there anything in Brussels? Yeah. Sometimes the game takes a second to be like, oh, you've made it to this location, therefore we need to update where your units are. Always fun when that happens. And a little bit more into officers. I don't want to be responsible for that trade, so that's a no, thank you very much. Okay, another infantry attachment that we're just breaking through right now. And Betwy is always a little bit of a tough nut to crack, it must be said. That's always a difficult province to break into. You know what, Soviets? I will do that trade with you. That's a pretty decent trade. Alright, so yeah, you're resting. Okay, and these mediums are going to need to rest soon, but I would like them to do a little bit more ground attack work, because we should be winning this battle now with the amount of forces that we've got organised into it. Alright, the 1st Division can cover the flank there. We will break through with these units. Okay, and they've still got a load of units on the Italian border. So that's a positive. This is when it would have begun previously, so our progress is a little bit slower, but we're getting there. Ley, he's a Belgian general. And he's causing us no end of trouble. Right, Japan annex Yuan. Yeah. Come on. Like, you know, this is as good as it gets. There we go. That'll break them down. And I think it goes green at 60. So that's not too far away now. Right, Brazil. I don't think I want to do that, Brazil. We're in the green on everything, which is a nice surprising turn of events. Right, railroad. And yeah, mechanization of infantry is not that far away, so we can start building mechanized soon. I think I am going to do the Imperial Ministry of War now, because it does gain me a little bit extra. And we just won the battle at Alon. Come on. In you get. Alright, we made it in. And that's going to give us a little bit more land organization. Let's move you into that location. You can help break through here. And you can break through at Amersfoort. And then, yeah, you're moving on Den Helder. And how long till you... 88 hours. Wow. So yeah, when you're dealing with open country, that's a little bit less frustrating. Alright, yeah. We'll attach you to the third group there. And then we'll move you up towards Bitburg. Let's move these garrisons up. And then that helps with a little encirclement mission there. And I must say, I was expecting a little bit more out of this location here. Let's try and lend a bit of a helping hand there. Air power coming in very handy. And a nice advance on all fronts. So, you're attacking towards here. We could support attack. Yeah, just to lend a bit of a hand there. And from Munster... you can't reach it. That's rubbish. The range on close air support is just absolute donkey piss. It's rubbish. Right, ground attack. It almost makes them like not worthwhile using, to be honest. Right, can you hurry up and like piss off, please, now? The organisation on a lot of these units is going to take a load of time to recover as well. These kind of counterattacks, they're never good. Okay, so what we are going to do is we're going to take this group and we're going to attack towards Sedan. Then we're going to take our infantry, which is all of you lovely fine fellows, and we're going to attack towards Longyong, or however the hell you say that. I'm going to use this motorized unit though to help support there. Then we have Panzer Group Kleist. And I think what we will do is we will take, yeah, this motorized group and take them north. Then we'll take the other two groups and we will push in with our fellow little group here. So That seems like a nice little worthwhile attack. 16 crude oil for a little bit of money. Sorry, Finland, but that doesn't strike me as being a great trade. Because if we can breach the Sudan location, then that will help us a very large amount. Okay, and... okay, we managed to beat through to here. So, because this is quite a strong defensive location, so the fact that we've broken them like we have is pretty good news. That is not bad at all. So, and then we can move on Alkmaar. Let's move up that garrison unit there. Okay, so they'll be ready to attack again in a day. And yeah, our strength is starting to tell now. Alright, submarine hull. 42, sure. Political integration, we'll let that run. And we'll get onto mechanized soon. And yay, another motorized unit. So we'll move down that next HQ group. And they can start filling that out. Okay, we're about to win in there. Our panzers are being confronted by some Royal Marines, which is where the issues are occurring at the moment. And Schroner, so those divisions are ready to go. Our infantry is starting to take up its position as being the kind of like mid-ground point, which is good. Cavalry unit, I can't imagine is going to be particularly powerful. So, nope. Don't need to do that. Nice bill of green health. And do we not have... ah, well, we'll get you involved as well, Wagner. Right, home front focus at 42. Yeah, that's good. And mechanization of infantry, which will be done in early 1941. So that's a big win for us. We're getting that done nice and ahead of time. And our first Marine division. Brilliant. So, do we have any Marine commanders? That's now the next question. Because I know we've got like Huber here, who's a winter specialist and combined arms dude. So he might be a good stand-in if we don't have any decent Marine commanders. But we do have Reichman here, so we'll get him involved. And yeah, that's some of the Marines ready. We're going to do a little bit of air intercept with these guys because they're being a little bit slow. And I'm going to use you to actually help this one here. Yep, so that's working correctly. Right, we've won the battle at Sedan, so that's what I want to be seeing. And we'll also attach in you to Sabra. No. We want to get you into, yeah, probably Arlon. Okay, and we are winning in Liège. And I think our motorized finally broke through. That's been a long time coming. So let's take you, and push to there. And you infantry are getting into a good place. Just one in Eindhoven. we're going to start to close the net on a bunch of divisions soon, because we have well and truly been able to bait them towards us. And I'd say our main tank armies are still relatively in place and haven't taken too much damage. So let's put Huber in one, and is there anyone else that we like the look of? Another marine person maybe, if we've got one. The answer to that question is a big fat no, but we've got a jungle expert in case we need that. Oh, there's one there, Falkenstein. Okay, let's create a core command for you. And let's give it to, yeah, we'll just give it to Fane, and then we'll attach that to the, not the 12th army, we want the 8th army. So we've got about 200,000 troops for the invasion up there. That's not too bad. And we'll schedule that for when we're near to Paris. So submarine sonar, 43 level. We're doing mechanization. We can do armored engineers as well. In fact, let's do engineer unit training. We're nearly at 100 leadership, which is pretty nicely organized. And I'm also near putting a cut in the episode. Okay, so yeah, you've got your initial push sorted. Wait for all of our units to get into position. It's only 2 hours before they can consider attacking again, so that's good. 13 there, 58, 56, 67. So yeah, there's a bit of a longer time period on some of them. 64, 35. Okay, and resistance is starting to collapse a little bit now. And you're going to move on Utrecht. And you're going to move on Alkmaar. So yeah, our spearhead's been nicely controlled, organised. And yeah, a couple of units are starting to be ready to go. So I probably want, so yeah, we're going to stick with the kind of idea of keeping some of our divisions for certain tasks. So we're going to move you towards St. Mayful. We're going to move the motorized units to follow them, I think. And then we're going to take this corps and we're going to move you towards there, because you've got a little bit of support on the flanks and things, and we want to open up the gateway to Paris quite quickly. And yeah, that motorized unit can easily knock back a cavalry division that's been weakened, plus a corps command. That should be simple. Okay, and how long do we think until you guys will be combat effective? We'll check back in a week. Okay, so we've won the battle at St. Meffold. And we've won the battle at Bastogne, which was a bloody difficult battle, I've got to say. That was not easy. That was probably one of the more difficult battles. And we've also won at Liège as well. So, yeah, that just broke the camel's back there. We can afford to leave Sedan vacant because some of our own divisions will start to be, you know, beating back a couple of battles here and here. So the flanks will be protected from that. Tilburg. Ah, here. Okay, good. Attacking towards there. Let's push towards there with you as well. We don't need to go overboard. We're just gonna like neatly organize ourselves. Okay, so political indoctrination at 42. We can finish that off. Amphibious. Yeah, unit training we can let go. So motorized support units and camouflage. That'll help our units be a little bit more combat effective. And now we're heading towards Namur. So it's nothing but motorized here. And I'm actually going to move you back because that's unit's going to get trumped if we're not careful. And then let's take all of you. And we will push in this direction here to help push out those Frenchies. And then we're going to take all of our infantry for the most part. And we're going to push like so. That sounds good. We just surrounded a British Marine division. What? We'll take that victory. That's a nice little win. Okay, and the French are starting to scramble. There's plenty of British Marine divisions just dotted around. That is very interesting. That's a lot of support. It's more support than, you know, I get when I play a Britain campaign from the French, that's for sure. Right, let's keep pushing with these guys. Von Reichenhau's doing enough to hold this in place. And I do want to get rid of that tiny bit of dissent, actually. So I'm actually going to pull a little bit out of our production queue for the moment, just to get rid of it in pretty quick time. Come on, guys. 18 hours? You're slow. Okay, and a little bit more leadership. Let's do defensive position, and that gets us to 100. So that's something. And then let's keep that push going over there. And yeah, that Hirson location is really important, because if you take that, then you effectively can go kind of anywhere easily. And if you can just get around the river, so if you can take this location, it helps no end. So that division there has just been dealt with. And that move towards Utrecht is kicking on. And there's a victory in Alkmaar as well. So we can start to move towards Haarlem and Den Haag. And yeah, you move towards Bastogne. 4 hours, a little bit slow. A little bit slow. Right, we'll take the tanks. Take that infantry there. And we'll protect the flanks with either side with these divisions. Just one in Cambrai. And yeah, we'll keep the push going with you. Because there's a big concentration of like HQs and things here. And this does open up the gateway to Paris a little bit. Where we can outflank Reims. And 40% national unity. So their national unity is questionable at best. A little bit more into officers. And how are we looking over here? We're getting there. Like, it's not as bad as it was. So what I'm going to do, because we lost our divisions a little bit over there, is we're going to do another little distraction job with the coastal submarines. So we're going to do some more passive convoy raiding over here and over here. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to send our newest submarine fleets. How far can you get? Well, you can get to here. So let's do a little bit of passive convoy raiding with you, and hopefully we can get them out to sea. And maybe we can even go up here with some of them. So yeah, let's try and just distract a little bit. Okay, and our infantry have well and truly done the job. They're attempting to break out, but they're fighting a battle on two fronts is not good. Right, so submarine engine, which gets us up to the next level of long-range submarine, which is good. Air defense network. We will do the officer recruitment program, because that amount of officers is never shabby. Effectively, we're going to be in a position where we never have to worry about officers again if we do that tech. Okay, we're now doing more of the production queue than we would have been previously. Okay, and instead of going there, we're actually going to move you towards Laon. And then you can head towards Chauteroy. And we'll get you into place there. We'll leave that Corps Command one back a little bit. Just because I have a feeling it might be worthwhile us doing that. Okay, and then we're gonna attack towards there with you. And there with you. Spearheads are working, they're doing their thing. Okay, and that convoy raiding is starting to kick in now. These submarines are fairly fast for a submarine. 13 kilometers per hour. That's not too bad. Could be worse. And then there's a Victory in Breda and Batui. So we're going to leave you there. We're going to get you to move up. And then we're going to use all of these guys to push down. And then, aha, Victory in Lille. Good. And another little attack there. And then once we've beaten back at Charleroi, that'll be good. Right, I'm going to call it an episode here. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing the next episode of Hearts of Iron 3. Thanks again. Bye-bye.